From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story from Monday, August 12th, 2024. Your 10-day takeaways here: scattered storms to start off the week. A few could be severe. Today across southern Alberta, that risk shifts from west to east across the prairie over the next several days. The best chance for rain this week is going to be in the far west and the southeast. That means parts of southeastern Alberta, southern Saskatchewan, you're on the dry side, western and northern Alberta, and then southern Manitoba, you are the rainier areas here. The best chance of picking up 25 to 30 millimeters or about an inch of rain over the next several days. Temperatures consistently warm, but not scorching. That's been the theme for a lot of the summer. Your 7-day rainfall totals here, again, heaviest across the Front Range. That was well forecast. Some of these areas dealing with some severe weather and then some locally heavy rainfall here in excess of 50 to 80 millimeters. Otherwise, pretty quiet across a lot of the prairie here. There are some areas where we saw some corridors of showers and storms, but a lot of dry real estate here, and that's kind of the theme over the next several days across this area right here. Chances for rain off to the north and west, chances for rain across the south, but going to be probably on the drier side right across this corridor. Now, as we look at the satellite picture here, we've got some glitches. I'm not sure why that happened. There was a bit of a geomagnetic storm last night. The aurora was visible across much of the areas where we had some clear skies. Maybe some folks were out enjoying the meteor shower, the Perseids there with the aurora. I do think it was maybe impacting the satellite here, getting some of these images back. But as we take a look at this, some activity across southern Alberta. This is that storm system that's going to be coming in with that chance for scattered storms over the next few days. Otherwise, a sunny, clear start to the day across a lot of the prairie. Looking at the radar, it's pretty quiet, just some very light shower activity across this region of southern Alberta. As this next system makes its way in over the next 24 hours, look for thunderstorm activity to increase across this area through Monday afternoon and evening. Those temperatures on Monday morning, pretty typical for the second week of August here. Temperatures anywhere from the upper single digits to the lower teens. Some warmer spots here. Edmonton already up to around 18 degrees, and then parts of eastern Manitoba here, 18 to 20 degrees here already this morning. So there are some warm spots. No one really going to be scorching too bad, though, over the next week or so. Now, as we look at the European AI forecast model here, chances for rain over the next 7 days, again, highest across the Front Range, portions of western and northern Alberta, and then across southern Manitoba, where we'll see a higher frequency of showers and storms mid to late week. That, of course, means the fire danger is going to continue to be very high to extreme in some areas, especially across, kind of this corridor where we'll see some showers and storms, but they're probably going to be more on the hit or miss side, not so widespread in nature. So while we've seen some relief across some of these areas at times over the last few weeks, really, again, typical of this time of year, the rain is less widespread. The fire risk is going to be a little bit more widespread across the area. So, what's really driving this? It's a fairly unique pattern where we're seeing ridging at times, higher atmospheric pressure across the prairie, but the jet stream remains pretty active off to our south. So this does a couple of things. First of all, it keeps the heavier precipitation kind of focused across this area just to our south, but it also keeps the more extreme, didn't mean to draw that in green, but the more extreme heat parked off to the south as well. So this gives us a summer pattern where we are not necessarily, right smack dab in the middle of the active storm track. And so we are seeing a lot of, shower and thunderstorm activity. It's, at times scattered showers and storms, but really the bigger impact here is to keep the heat off to the south. So while it's a little drier, we're at least not cooking across the prairie with those temperatures soaring well into the mid to upper 30s, which is really when we get into a problematic summertime pattern. Now, as I run this forecast out over the next 7 days or so, this has taken us through August 14th, 15th, getting into the 16th and 17th into the weekend. I wanted to draw your attention to the weekend and early week pattern. We kind of get back into a flow that's very similar to what we've dealt with a lot of the summer, and that is kind of troughing to the west and to the east, some subtle ridging across the prairie. So this keeps the active storm track, again, kind of focused from the northern plains into the upper Midwest. Kind of, if you just glance at this, you might be worried about heat. But again, what happens is the jet stream continues to flow off to our south. So while we have, some ridging across the area, this is not a pattern where the jet stream is flowing well off to the north and we're allowing that heat to kind of just expand across all of North America. Instead, the jet stream flow a little further south, I should say a lot further south compared to several of our summers of the past. So the heat stays off to the south. We are kind of just mild, and we get those chances for showers and storms at times making their way through the prairie. Now we'll break it down. We'll look at the European model, the deterministic model. That'll help us kind of hone in on the thunderstorm chances a little more specific. Quiet to start the day off today. Look for showers and storms to expand across central and southern Alberta through the afternoon and evening. Can't rule out a couple of strong to severe storms producing some hail or some gusty winds, especially late afternoon into the evening, Calgary south into southern Alberta. Tuesday afternoon, the risk shifts off to the east, be more focused across central and southern portions of Saskatchewan. On Tuesday afternoon and evening, let me go ahead and take the drawing off there. And then as we get into Wednesday, the risk continues to shift off to the east, kind of focused across central and southern Manitoba, maybe far eastern portions of Saskatchewan. Look for some showers and storms potentially across the Front Range here, the foothills on Wednesday afternoon and evening. That could continue on Thursday into Friday afternoon and evening as this main area of low pressure departs off to the east. We'll kind of just look for the terrain influence here across the foothills. And so that's really it for organized precipitation this week. It's the first couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday, as that storm system progresses, from west to east. We'll watch for that daily risk for showers and storms to progress off to the east. And then as we get into the weekend, that's when we see that subtle ridging across the region, probably drier aside from showers and storms popping up on the Front Range. Again, we talked about that risk for some severe weather. We'll go ahead and get back here. This is looking at the atmospheric instability, the fuel for severe storms available in the atmosphere. Monday afternoon and evening, not a lot to work with, but that's why, again, we're talking about maybe an isolated shower or storm reaching severe levels, producing some hail or some gusty winds. Instability is a little bit more available as we get into Tuesday afternoon and evening. This would, suggest maybe a higher risk for a couple of severe storms from northern Alberta into southern Saskatchewan on Tuesday afternoon and evening. As we get into Wednesday afternoon and evening, again, shifting a little bit further to the east. This would kind of say, again, right along the Saskatchewan-Manitoba border on Wednesday afternoon and evening. Look for those, scattered showers and storms reaching severe levels, producing some large hail, some gusty winds, maybe a tornado or two. And then as we get into Thursday, we're kind of starting to lose it. We lose the instability. We're losing the storm system. It's departing off to the east. And so when I talk about showers and storms in the foothills here, we're just talking about your pop-up showers and storms, maybe a rogue storm going severe here or there. But that's why we see the best chance, maybe for an inch or more, 30 millimeters or more of precipitation across the foothills, portions of western Alberta. The next best chance for 25 to 30 millimeters is going to be found here across southern portions of Manitoba. In between that, likely on the drier side, certainly the chance for some locally heavy rainfall, but probably more miss than hit with showers and storms from southeast Alberta into southern and southwestern Saskatchewan. Another look here at the National Blended Model. Again, 25 to 30 millimeters of precipitation here. 20 to 30 right across this corridor. Generally on the lighter side, a trace to 5 to 10 millimeters of precipitation right in between. Here's a look at that pattern. Again, troughing to the west, ridging overhead, troughing to the east. This is what we've got here that kind of, keeps us in this pattern where the chance for rain is highest across the Front Range, kind of drier in between. This is your week 2 forecast. So this is August 20th through the 27th. Yeah, we can read that. Not really a lot to kind of point at as far as it's going to be a soaker. We're likely looking at isolated to scattered showers and storms, seasonally warm across the prairie. That's what we've got with our temperatures here. We kind of just animate this. And again, you see the same thing. At times, some warmth here, maybe getting to around 5 degrees warmer than average as we get into the early part of next week with that ridging overhead. But by and large, as we just kind of take a look at things, warm but not scorching. A lot of days with highs right around 25, 26 degrees. This is Calgary. Your overnight lows 12 to 14. Edmonton cooling off a little bit as we head into the weekend, but still a lot of days 24 to 26 degrees. Regina, you're maybe on the warm side on Tuesday as that storm system pushes into the region. This would be your best chance for severe weather. That high of 30 degrees on Tuesday. Same thing in Saskatoon, 29. Chance for some severe storms on Tuesday. Winnipeg, 28 is your warm day. 25 for Wednesday through Sunday. So consistently warm, but not scorching. Chances for rain highest in the west and the east. A bit drier in between.